Hello and welcome with another video. I'm Professor Dr.Mchem from Dr.Mchem Institute of Chemistry, University of St. Jamshedpur. Just now I've given my students the demo which they needed very much because I was thinking that they have, they got all the points, but I'm asking just simple questions and they are not unable to answer. So now I'm going inside and I'm going to ask them few questions which I will record also, and I will show you what they are, because I just want them to be attentive, to be, their mind is supposed to be fully focused on the work they are doing, the lab work especially, right? They are performing. So I just want them to be more, in their studies, into their lab work. So let's see what they are doing. I'm going to ask few questions from my boys, the boys side. Okay, what do we call this? What is this? आप बताएं इसको क्या कहते हैं? What do we call this? What is this? I am asking him, please. Yes. What is this? What is this? Huh? What do we call this?
स्कीम
हाँ?
स्कीम एक किस्म की जो एक्सपेरिमेंट परफॉर्म कर रहे हैं, इसकी मतलब हेल्प से हम
Try to speak in English. Try to speak in English. You are in third year. Yeah. This is a scheme. Say this is a scheme.
स्कीम वी आर
Yeah. Very good.
वी आर
We are going to perform the experiment with the help of this scheme. That's great. Okay. आप बताएं. Why are we using this scheme? What is in this scheme?
Because we get some help for performing experiment.
Okay. What are we doing? If I give you, an unknown compound, an organic compound, what you are going to do? But with the help of this scheme.
First of all, we get a known compound,
Then how you are going to, what you are going to do? If I say you are going to identify the compound, what you are going to do? Tell me. What are the 4 steps? Just tell me 4 steps of identification. That's it.
first of all, we
No, 4 steps. First step, tell me first step. Step number 1. Okay, you don't know. Yes, next. Step number 1. What if I say identify the compound?
first to identify a compound.
How? What are the 4 steps? In my general demo, I've been repeatedly explaining you people. What was the first step?
Then first step is to identify a compound, and
That is the object, not the step. That is the object, to identify the compound. Okay, after that, there are few steps. Yes, you. Aap bataएं. Today is your first day. So why? Where were you? Next. What you are going to do when I will hand over you a compound? How you are going to identify it? Oh, speak up loudly. What are those 4 steps? Just tell me the names of those 4 steps.
एनालाइज करेंगे पहले
No. Next.
मैम फिजिकल टेस्ट करेंगे पहले, उसके बाद ऑर्डर
उसकी heading क्या थी? What was the heading of those physical tests? Preliminary examination?
नाइट्रोजन सल्फेट प्रेजेंट एंड फंक्शनल ग्रुप्स
What do we call it? What do we call that? Detection of elements. That is step number 2. What is step number 3? Functional group. That is classification test.
मेल्टिंग पॉइंट
Then that is the physical property. Melting point is the physical property. Okay, you are finding a physical property. So what are those 4 steps? Preliminary examination, number 1. Number 2, detection of elements. Number 3, classification test. Number 4, melting point determination. Now you will remember always? Good. Yes, girls. Now tell me one thing. Why do you need to use the scheme? Why?
उसकी वजह से हमें पता चलता है कि हमें एक प्रोसीजर, हमारे जो टीचर्स होते हैं हमें गाइडलाइन देते हैं कि स्टेप बाय स्टेप कैसे परफॉर्म करना है, और ताकि कोई कंफ्यूजन ना रहे और हम
Can you speak in English? You are speaking very nicely. You are explaining very nicely. Why don't you speak in English? Try to speak in English. If you, only a sentence, I would appreciate, because you are in third year, beta. Yeah.
हम इसलिए करते हैं ताकि we can perform the experiment correctly to avoid any accident, any damage in the lab.
You can say all the hints, all the way how to do it, and what are the procedures. Everything is in this scheme. It's a lab scheme. आप बताएं. Yes. Why do we do preliminary examination? Why? What preliminary examination tells us? Yes? No, you do not need to. Preliminary examination, why do we perform? You don't know. Yes, you would.
Because we want to know which properties are there, what which we achieve with color, awareness. So then
You will. Okay. Next girl, you tell me. Why do we. What is the next step after preliminary examination? What is the next step? Why you don't know? Speak up. क्यों फर्स्ट डे है बेटा आपका आज? Next. Why do we do preliminary examination? You people are not studying. Next. Okay. And speak loudly.
Physical state, color,
Next. What comes after preliminary examination? Speak loudly. What I'm saying, just what is the second step of identification? Identifying a compound. What is the second step? Next, आप बताइए. What is the second step of identifying the compound?
detection of elements.
Very good. अब समझ में आया? What is the second step? आप बताएं. Detection of
Elements.
which elements?
Other organic or inorganic.
Nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens.
Halogens.
Good. आप लोग okay, so I just asked my students few of the questions, and some of them, of course, they replied back and replied in a correct way. They gave me the right answers of the very simple questions, which I have been repeatedly, explaining to them. But I think that if they are unable to answer, if they are unable to follow the steps, that means the fault lies in me. I am the teacher. I am the one who was unable to make them understand these things. I think I am guilty for that, their failure. If they are failing to answer, that means the fault lies in the teacher also. So I will try to make them understand more correctly, and I have again explained them the things which I asked them. So let's see. Hope for the best. So my students, as I have explained them, they are recording the data. I can show you the data also on their journals or logbooks, as well as they are performing the tests also, which I want just explain them. They are performing different tests. As it's a new compound and it's an unknown compound, so they don't know the name. They will find it out by performing these tests. And they are recording the findings in the journal. So that's good. This is the boys' side. They are also doing it. They are performing the tests, different tests. Some of them are performing the unsaturation test. They are on the preliminary examination. Abhi tak aap log, you are on preliminary examinations. Okay. Hurry up. You have to do second step, detection of elements also. You have to do third step also. How you will do it? Jaldi kare, hurry up. And show me the results. I want results now. That's my lab, and they are doing the work. That's the inorganic side. Seems they have finished their work. This is the BS.P3 M.Sc previous lab. And I'm inside this lab and my students are working there. Behind me you can see them. Hope they will finish up their experiment, their second compound's identification within the due time. And I hope them all the best. And I hope and wish them all the best. This is the lab. This is the oven. These are few chemicals that are kept in this. This is the place where our lab assistant sits. That's my lab. It's got a lot of chemicals. Cannot see that we don't have the chemicals. We have the chemicals. Here you can see that they have performed the experiments, different experiments they have performed, the weight balance. This is a stock solution, maybe. Yeah, it's a stock solution, it's distilled water. And there are many things. We have a lot of stuff here. You can see the stock solutions here. So this was my lab. These are all the glasswares that we use. It's good. These things are all organized. And that's my students. I'm moving towards my students. So that's all for today. Now I will be recording my students' tests, what they are doing. I'm monitoring them and I'm constantly seeing. Are my students. They're working.